ages 18, 19, 20, all the way up into 50s and 60s. And so there was a conversation with brothers there that said, okay, well, our elder statesman speaks to his experience and how he dealt with stress and life issues. And then that 20-year-old, 25-year-old can speak to the same thing and say how they deal with life experience. Now we have a shared understanding. And it's also now like not the old head just talking down to me, you need to get your life straight, dog. You need to do this, dog. You need to do this, pull your pants up. No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. No. Again, meeting them where they're at, right? And, having this, okay, this is how we dealt with stuff back then. And this is how I dealt with it as a man at 50, 60 years old. 25-year-old says, well, this is how I dealt with the situation going on today. This is why I'm dealing with it. This is how I practice it. And now we have a shared conversation. I get in there because it's not a clinical space, right? I'm not bound by the clinical guidelines, right? And I'm not bound by I am bound by my ethical duties, but not from that clinical aspect. This is a peer support group. I take the credentials off. So I show up as just Trey, that some of my community just knows me as, outside of the LCSW, the professor. They know me as Trey, the car guy, the sneaker guy that used to hoop all around the county, whatever. That's him. And then I share my story, and then we have that conversation. But that label of clinician is gone, unless it gets escalated and I had to put that hat back on. But I'm not going into these conversations with those credentials on, right? And so having those conversations there, and sometimes even our barbershop talks, the barbers started taking over the conversation. And I just be like, and they look at me, they be like, keep going. Do y'all want to be a social worker? And come on down, I can get you. Yeah. But they start, again, because the barbers have that relationship, they've already been talking to these people, right? They come in there, one of my barbers said he could tell how stressed his clients are by their hair. Didn't even think about that. You cut hair for a day. You can tell you could tell if somebody else cut your hair. Yeah, you cheating on your barber. Tell you, you know what I'm saying? You can tell you cutting, you cheating.